Okay, this time we're doing BattleToads on my NES HDMI Kevtris. And the Vintage Gamer requested that I do this game. I guess he wants to see me fail hard at a game, because this is one that I'm not very good at. It's been a while since I've played. And in my opinion, this is the hardest NES game. The controls are good, the challenge is fair, so it's not hard in a broken, impossible kind of way. It's hard in a fair kind of way. And full disclosure, I think the best I've ever gotten is the Inferno, sometimes called the second turbo tunnel. A few years ago, my last semester in college, I knew it was going to be one of the last opportunities where I had a bunch of free time on my hands, so I decided to try and beat some NES games that I hadn't been able to beat growing up. I was able to beat Batman. I was able to beat the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I was able to beat the first, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening. I was able to beat that. And I think I had just seen the James and Mike Mondays where they had Bootsy back when he was still a part of the show, and he joined them and beat BattleToads. So I gave it a shot, spent a couple weeks, probably about 3 or 4 weeks, working on this game, playing it about an hour every other day or so. Furthest I was ever able to get was the Inferno. And then I had to give up because it just became obvious to me that, knowing that there were levels like Clinger Winger and Terratubes, Rat Race, The Shaft, it was intimidating, and I knew that I'd have to spend another 7-8 weeks trying to beat it, or getting good enough to beat it, because the only way to beat this game is just to master it level by level. That's kind of what hurts the game, in my opinion, is every level is a new and unique challenge with new controls and new mechanics. Like the first level, easy enough with, very basic beat-em-up style. Now you're doing the kind of a vertical, limited attack style. Let's see if we can rack up some extra lives. And one thing I wanted to mention about this game, this used to be a very common game, not expensive, and it did sell really well, so you should still be able to find a copy for $20-$25, but resellers are currently pricing this game in the $40 range, which I think is highway robbery. There's plenty of copies in circulation. Shop around. Don't pay more than $25 for this game. Another interesting fact about this game is that this game got Nintendo Power's Game of the Year in 1991. Excuse me, Game of the Year on the NES in 1991 for Nintendo Power. Still a pretty, really nice feather in the cap. Oh, goodness. Not having a good run. I'm pretty rusty at this game, so you'll have to forgive me for being so awful. In this game, you know, coming up next is the Turbo Tunnel, where the difficulty just spikes on you. By the way, Dark Queen, very memorable and great villain. It's a shame that the vintage gamers stopped doing memes with the Dark Queen. I never get tired of those. So I also thought it'd be fun to talk about the BattleToads cartoon. They did produce a pilot, which was not picked up. And as far as I know, I'll post a link to a YouTube video that is the pilot for BattleToads. But I remember, I think there aren't any open comment sections on any of the BattleToads cartoon pilot videos. I think they all close their comments section, and I'm not sure why. But BattleToads, the cartoon pilot, there was a comment back when there was a video that had an open comment section that said that the pilot aired during a very specific block of time where networks used to dump pilots that did animated pilots that didn't get picked up. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving, when kids were stuck at home on Thanksgiving break and really had nothing to watch. So that was when they used to dump animated cartoon pilots that didn't get picked up, and from what I understand, that was when BattleToads aired. Although they did eventually put it on a VHS. Anyway, I'm stalling enough. This is a very difficult part of the game where I'm probably going to be a little quiet because I'm trying to focus on the ridiculous challenge. And I hope to do okay on the part where you have to jump island to island. Last time I played, I lost a bunch of lives on that part. And then there's the ending portion where everything goes extremely fast. That part, probably going to lose a couple lives on. But if you're looking for a game that uses this style of gameplay, but is a bit more fair to the player, I recommend BattleToads and Double Dragon. That was a much more fun and fair game. Of course, you may have to get the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis version, because the NES version, that's become a very expensive cartridge. Okay, we should be coming up on the part with the island jumps. Okay, now we're in the home stretch. Hopefully I don't lose too many lives here. Woo! Got it the first time. Now let's hope I don't get my butt kicked on the ice cavern. Arctic caverns. And because this was the only game where, on Cinemassacre, where Bootsy did his Bootsy Beat series, I kind of think of it as something of a cursed game. And now the mechanic and control that you have to memorize and master for this level is slippery platforming. Basically, you just have to memorize obstacle by obstacle. I can't remember what video it was on, but I remember seeing a comment on, maybe it was on Bootsy Beats or something like that. Someone posted a comment about how one of the flaws that really hampers this game is that it can feel like you're basically memorizing inputs. You know, it's all... You know, you're just basically memorizing, you know, what the obstacles are and when to dodge them. And then that kind of hurts the game. And I kind of agree with that comment. Okay, we're getting close to another extra life. But the control in this game is good. Like I said, as far as challenges go, the challenges... It's not it's not totally, completely unfair. They do give you good controls and good collision detection. It's not unfair in a broken kind of way. It's unfair in a unbelievably difficult kind of way. And for retro gamers, some of them, that's exactly the kind of challenge they're looking for. some reason, I really am not good at this part. Okay, so now we're at my favorite level, Surf City. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit rusty. Let's do better. There is an extra life coming up. Hopefully I can... There we go. Alright, as long as I can get that extra life, I feel good. But this level has a really interesting mechanic, the way you're kind of skipping up and down. Missed the one up that time. Yeah, I know what the problem is. I'm going too far backward. So, I'm really hoping the run doesn't fall apart on me. I should be able to get past this part without using a continue. Not looking so good, though. And I recognize that this is probably, if you are good at this game, this is probably really frustrating to watch. There we go. Okay, let's not go too far back. Let's just focus on going up and down. There we go. Let's try and rack up an extra life while we're at it. And coming up next, we have the fight with the giant rat. I believe his name is Blarg. All the enemies in this game have names. And we want to keep the pull for him. And this is a really cheap way to fight him, but I'll take it. Okay, let's see if we can finish off Surf City. Love the music for this stage, by the way. Probably my favorite chiptune in the whole game. One of my favorite chiptunes in any NES game. Okay, level's just about over. There we go. Alright, now it's Karnath's Lair, the snake pit. And this is another level that is purely trial and error. I went the wrong way. This one has pretty good music too. I feel like I'm just memorizing instead of reacting, you know, to give credibility to that theory that this is just about memorizing inputs than it is about truly fair gameplay. And this level, or this one right here, this part of the level, not holding your hand. This is where the challenge really ramps up, on this level at least. And I really don't see a way to rack up any points, so I feel like I'm at a disadvantage trying to pick up any extra lives. This game is very generous about giving points. This level, not so much. Nothing you can do there. Alright, so let's burn our first continue. High score was 468,050 points. And hopefully we won't burn another continue trying to get to the Inferno. I'd like to be able to show off some of the Inferno. Okay, we're in part 2. Now, obviously, BattleToads released on just about every platform. And one question that comes up is, which one's the most playable? I think if you're going to play BattleToads, obviously, this is the version you're going to want to play, because it's the one that everyone's talking about and referring to. But other notable versions of Battletoads, there is, of course, the arcade beat-em-up. I've never actually played it. It looks cool. Certainly never saw that arcade in the wild. There's the Game Boy version. The Game Boy version actually looks really fun and playable. I'd recommend picking up one of those and playing it on a Game Boy SP for maximum enjoyment. Not the Ragnarok one. The Ragnarok Battletoads game does not look fun. That's basically... I think it's basically this game, only with all the same problems with difficulty. The one that's just titled Battletoads on Game Boy, that one looks like its own different original game, and it looks really fun. And it looks like the challenge has been curbed a little bit too. And then, of course, like I said before, Battletoads and Double Dragon, which uses the it uses the same style of gameplay. The NES cartridge is expensive, so you can get it on Super Nintendo. It's a little cheaper. And even if I make it past this part, I think there's still one more really tough section of the Snake Pit. So, may have to burn one more continue, making it past this part. I think that's the second time I've died on that part. I gotta tighten up a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna burn another continue. And hopefully on this one I make it past... I make it to the Inferno. Because I do want to show off that level. Now I have to wait, because I made a mistake. And I think I've covered just about everything I want to about Battletoads, so let's go ahead and get some shoutouts in there. Got 8-bit walkthroughs. Been seeing him show up in my comments section. The Personator, Lisa P, Matt Dragon, who did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stream the other night. And it's not Ninja Turtles, bro. It's going to be Battletoads. The poor man's Ninja Turtles, who only got one cartoon. And let's go ahead and also shout out Rockin' Cat Reviews. Haven't seen him take on this game yet. This isn't a formal challenge, but at some point I would like to see Rockin' Cat Reviews take on this game. Every retro gamer should take on Battletoads and Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon is the Sega Genesis equivalent of this game. It's just a brutal challenge that every retro gamer has to take a stab at every once in a while. Oh, I thought I'd made it over. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get to the Inferno, at least on this continue, because I'm really struggling. I am rusty on these snake pit levels. Alright, I think this is our third continue. Still struggling on the snake pit, which there's no extra lives, I don't think, in this level. And what really bums me out is you can't even rack up any points on this level. So you're just kind of stuck. Man, it is such a precise jump. And there's still one more room after this, so I apologize. Really rusty on the snake pit. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get to the Inferno. Alright, last chance. And that's BattleToads. Nightmare game. I'm rusty at it. Only got to show off up to the snake pit. Couldn't even make it to the last room of the snake pit. Maybe someday I'll come back and master this game, but for right now, forget it. Vintage Gamer, I hope you got your laughs. And I'm going to play something that I actually like next time. BattleToads, I kind of like it. I just wish it wasn't so bloody hard. So, anyway, thanks for checking it out. We'll see you again soon.